How many of you think that losing your first 10 pounds requires crazy diets, endless amounts of cardio, and is extremely complex? Well, newsflash, because it is much simpler than you think. So these are 10 lessons that I wish that I had learned to help me lose my first 10 pounds. So you can do it quicker than I did. Lesson 1, prep work. Like many people, I would start losing weight without a plan. And a week later, I'd crash and I'd burn and never want to attempt losing weight ever again. And this phase is vital when you're losing weight. This is where you build all of the healthy and sustainable habits that are going to help you lose weight over the long term. And if you dare skip any of these steps coming up right now, you're not going to lose weight. So pay attention. Buying a food and bathroom scale. That's a non-negotiable. You need to plan how much weight you're going to lose and how long for. An app to track your calories and your daily weigh-ins. And you need to calculate your maintenance and your deficit calories. Do this and you're going to be ahead of 90% of people who are looking to lose their first 10 pounds. And something else that's going to put you ahead of 90% of people is lesson 2, which is understanding that maintaining your weight loss is going to be 10 times harder than losing weight in the first place. I'll let you in on a little secret. Everybody on this planet can lose weight, but what most people can't do is keep that weight off. And that's because many of you, myself included at one point, would use restrictive dieting techniques to lose large amounts of weight in quick periods of time, which ultimately leads to binge eating and us reverting to our old eating habits because the diet that we imposed on ourselves wasn't sustainable in the first place. So if you want to be one of the lucky few who not only loses the weight, but also keeps it off, don't know why I use those two glasses, but there you go, realize that your weight loss journey is probably going to take a little bit longer than you're anticipating. But that's okay, because I would rather spend a couple of extra weeks or months losing weight slowly and doing it properly than losing it within like a week and then gaining it back 2 weeks later. And speaking of gaining weight, one lesson that I wish I learned sooner is that weight fluctuations are normal. If you're a person who panics when you see increases on the scale and decides to say screw it and orders the pizza and dives headfirst into a pint of ice cream, that right there is what's stopping you from losing the weight you want to lose. Here's why. You see, you've conditioned yourself into thinking that an increase in the scales is always a bad thing, when in reality, it's not. And that's because increases in our scale weight can happen for a variety of reasons. For example, it could be our hormones, it could be the time that we went to bed, how much did we eat or drink before we went to bed. And on screen right now is going to be a screenshot of my most recent weigh-ins at the time of this recording. Now, most people would quit right here and abandon their weight loss altogether. But what those same people wouldn't see is the 2-pound drop that happened 2 days later. Moral of the story, weight fluctuations are not going to be fat gain. It's most likely going to be an increase in your water retention. So next time you see an increase in the scale, don't panic and just stick to the plan. However, you definitely should be panicking if you haven't learned this lesson yet, and that's not counting your calories. If you are a person who thinks that you can lose weight without counting calories, you're correct. But just know that the majority of people online saying that, oh, I stopped counting my calories and I lost even more weight, have more experience than you and have been doing it for years, whereas you, on the other hand, have only been counting calories for weeks, or you haven't even started yet. These people have knowledge and experience on their side to keep them on track. Knowledge and experience that you don't possess. Not yet anyway. So despite what anybody says online, if you're a beginner who has never successfully lost weight, calorie counting, I'm afraid, is a non-negotiable. And another non-negotiable that you're not gonna like is lesson number 5, weighing yourself every single day. If you're a person who has anxiety around the scale, what I'm about to share with you is gonna reshape the way you think about this number and highlight that ignoring the scales completely is gonna do more harm than good for your weight loss. Here's a question. What is gonna cause you more anxiety? You stepping on the scale and not really liking the number on it, or having absolutely no idea what's going on with your body, what to do about it, or how you're going to address it, and you being stuck in weight loss limbo for the rest of your life. Okay, that was a little bit dramatic. But you see, the number on the scale is just a piece of data, and whether you want to accept it or not, that number is there to help, because that data is going to help you identify trends and help you make changes based on the data that you've been collecting. And when I was losing weight, one thing I really wish I had was something containing all of these lessons in like a simple step-by-step format. And if you feel the same way, you can download my free weight loss checklist, which will be in the pinned comment down below. And with that out of the way, I think it is time for a quick fire round. Cheers. Lesson 6, you need to plan your diet with fat loss and muscle preservation in mind. Just dieting for fat loss and ignoring your protein intake completely is how some people become skinny fat. And in a similar vein, lesson number 7 is planning your exercise with fat loss and muscle preservation in mind. This means not doing insane amounts of cardio without lifting lifting weights. Otherwise, say it with me now, you're gonna become skinny fat. And on the topic of skinny fat, lesson number 8 is learning that weight loss isn't always a good thing. If you start seeing rapid decreases in the scale after the first 1 to 2 weeks of you starting your weight loss, that's a clear sign that you are losing muscle and not fat. You see, it's easy to get obsessed with that number going down on the scale very quick, but what comes with that are dangerous and unsustainable habits that you might start employing to maintain that rapid weight loss, which can leave you crashing and burning, etc. But depending on how heavy you are, I would aim from anywhere from half a pound to 1 pound of weight loss per week. But yet again, this can vary from person to person. And one thing that you're definitely going to need to learn is lesson number 10, and that's understanding that weight loss isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Thinking that weight loss is going to be quick or that it's going to be simple is why 90% of people fail to lose their first 10 pounds. So to avoid being one of those people, you should really make yourself aware of the dark sides of weight loss. And to do that, I would watch this.